There is a prison that does not consist of physical walls, but exists within the mind. Imagine a flock of birds living their whole lives in a cage. Then, one day, the door to true freedom finally opens. But they have forgotten how to look beyond the cold bars that defined their entire world. The shadows of the cage have become their reality, and the fear of the unknown keeps them huddled together in the safety of their shared misery. Can you hear the wind calling? It whispers of a world without limits, yet they remain trapped by the invisible chains of their own habits. Look closely at their tired eyes. They no longer see the sky, only the metal lines that divide their small, suffocating universe into broken pieces. The lock is gone, the way is clear, and yet no wing is spread to fly toward the light. The cage has moved inside their hearts. True imprisonment is not the bars outside, but the belief that we belong in the dark. Let us witness what happens when freedom finally arrives. A sudden gust of wind swings the door wide, revealing the infinite blue horizon. The path to the heavens is now completely unobstructed and waiting. Sunlight pours in like a golden river, yet the birds do not move toward it. Their gaze is fixed on something far smaller and more petty. The rusted hinges scream, but the birds are deaf to the sound of liberation. They are busy looking at a piece of dead, rotting wood. Paradox begins here. When the vast sky calls their names, they choose to focus on a hollow power within their narrow, dusty metal prison. This wooden perch, old and decaying, suddenly becomes the ultimate prize. It is the highest point they can reach without leaving their comfort zone. To them, this small stick is a throne. It represents a status they crave more than the ability to soar above the highest mountain peaks. One bird rises above the rest, claiming the top spot with a cry of arrogance. It believes it has finally conquered its small, miserable world. It looks down with contempt, forgetting that it is still behind bars. The illusion of being superior has blinded it to its own captivity. The others watch with envy, their hearts filled with bitterness. They do not want to be free. They only want to be the one on top. The sky remains blue and beautiful, but it is ignored. The struggle for a meaningless position has become the only purpose of their lives. The peace is shattered as the first bird attacks. Wings beat frantically, not to fly away, but to knock a brother down from his perch. Feathers fly in a storm of hatred. The air is thick with the sound of struggle as they tear at each other with blind fury. This is the tragedy of the open cage. Instead of flying out together, they turn on each other to claim a throne made of rot. Claws pull at the legs of those above. No one is allowed to be higher, even in a place of shared and unnecessary suffering. Envy burns brighter than the sun outside. They are willing to bleed and die just to stand a few inches higher than their peers. The wood is stained with the cost of their ambition. Every inch of progress toward the top is paid for with the pain of others. They trample the weak to reach the summit, never realizing that the summit itself is still inside the very cage they should leave. The open door is so close, yet it might as well be 1,000 miles away. Their focus is locked on the internal battle. This is a massacre of the soul. Fear of losing status has become greater than the natural instinct to seek the freedom of the sky. Each strike is fueled by the belief that the perch is the only thing that matters. They have forgotten they were born to fly. One falls, another climbs. The cycle of violence repeats as they fight over the scrap of wood that cannot even support their weight. Outside, the world goes on, vast and indifferent to their petty war. The clouds drift by, mocking their self-imposed and violent limitations. The shadows on the wall grow long and jagged, mirroring the darkness that has taken over the hearts of these once graceful creatures. The wood groans under the pressure of their collective hate. It was never meant to hold such heavy, burdened souls seeking false glory. The noise finally dies down. Only one remains, standing atop a pile of broken dreams and silent bodies, clutching his hollow, bloody victory. He is the king of the cage. But look at him. His wings are broken, his spirit is gone, and he stands entirely alone. Victory in a prison is still the life of a prisoner. The silence of the dead is the only reward for his hard-fought dominance. He has won a position that no longer has anyone to envy it. He is a ruler of ghosts in a room of shadows. He finally looks toward the door, but his body is too broken to move. The opportunity he ignored has finally begun to fade. The sunset is a reminder of lost time. The golden hour passes, and the world outside begins to tuck itself into the night. Was it worth it? To be the highest in a cage while the rest of the world lived in the light of true freedom. The perch snaps. The weight of his hate is too much. He falls, crashing down to the same floor as those he defeated. There is no throne anymore. Only the cold, hard reality of the cage. The illusion of power has vanished into the dark air. As the light leaves the room, the bird lies still. The door remains open, but there is no one left to walk through. This story is not about birds. It is a mirror held up to us. We live in cages of our own making every day. We sit in cubicles, staring at screens, competing for titles and bonuses that are nothing more than wooden perches in a cage. We chase digital validation, fighting for likes and followers, while the real world waits outside our windows, vibrant and full of life. We climb corporate ladders, stepping on the hands of colleagues, thinking that being on top makes us free. It only makes us lonelier. We are often more interested in being better than our neighbor than in being the best version of our own free selves. Look at the streets. Everyone is trapped in their own little screen, a private cage of comparison and envy that never truly ends. But some choose to look up. Some choose to realize that the door has been open all along, waiting for us to notice. Freedom is the courage to stop comparing. It is the strength to walk away from the fight for a higher, meaningless perch. The real world is not a competition. It is an experience that belongs to those who dare to step outside their comfort zones. Why stay in the cage when you have wings? Why fight for a stick when you have the entire sky to explore? Today, you can choose to stop the cycle. You can choose to be the one who finally walks through the open door. The cage is empty now. It serves as a monument to what happens when we lose sight of what truly matters in life. A single feather floats on the breeze, a symbol of a spirit that finally realized it did not need a throne to be high. It heads toward the sun, leaving the shadows behind. This is the path of those who choose freedom over status and envy. Do not let the small battles of today blind you to the vast opportunities of tomorrow. The sky has always been yours to claim. Your door is open. Will you stay to be a king in a cage, or will you finally find the courage to fly?